Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa, and there's been some controversy in Helldivers 2. Look at this. It is the major order, the current major order, which will finish in about 4 days' time. And it says, Terminids are swarming super-Earth planets. Countless Helldivers paid for these lands with their lives. We cannot lose them now. Order overview. Designated planets must be under super-Earth control when the order expires. Heath and Angel's Venture. Now, these two planets, look at the reward. You get 45 medals for this. This is like an incredible... This is an amazing reward. But people are really confused with this. So firstly, I'm seeing a lot of people going, well, why isn't the major order finished? Well, because the planets have to be under control when the order itself expires. It's not just get them to 100% liberated and then it's done. No, you have to keep them under liberation. Now, here's the thing. This is where things are getting really funny. If you log into the game now, you'll probably see that these planets are not liberated. So what the hell is going on? What is Joel doing? Well, Joel has been exposed. But don't worry, because Johan, as ever, is back over on X, and he's going to give us the details and explain just what the hell is going on here. So, he says this: I've seen many Helldivers 2 posts about a planet's liberation amount. At peak concurrent users, the community is able to liberate high amounts, but as soon as peak passes, the enemies manage to take the planet back. Each planet is sized constantly, think HP regen. This means that at low CCU, planets lose liberation percent. It's a push and pull. We also get some added context from Joel. Now, this was from a few days ago, but this is what he says. As a follow-up on Game Master abilities, the majority of the role is to choose which major order takes place, what daily is active, and decide where the enemies attack. The war for and liberation of planets, that's all you. We can also reinforce planets if needed and give temporary equipment to the entire community and other stuff we haven't revealed yet. So there we go. That's Joel's sort of War Master, Game Master role exposed. So he's not going out there and just giving planets like less liberation. He's not just deleting liberation from planets. What's happening is, as less users are on the game, so when, you know, prime time is over, then, yeah, the enemy tends to get more traction because there's less Helldivers fighting them back, which makes sense. Now, what I think is really cool here is I want to see what this other stuff we haven't revealed yet is. I want to see what these other Game Master things are that they can do. Now, we do know there are these set pieces planned which are coming to the game. We don't know what they are, but we know they're going to be these big moments where something massive will happen and everybody will have to rush to face that threat. And I think that's going to be super cool. So continuing the theme of concurrent users, this image is from a fan account over on Twitter. And a lot of people thought this was official. Now, there's a lot of these Twitter accounts about, and they're like for loads of different games. And basically, they like to make media that looks like it's official media, but it's not. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. So this Twitter account says that there are currently 750,000 plus players as of the 1st of March playing Helldivers 2. Now, where did these figures come from? Well, what this user actually did is went into the game and counted the number of Helldivers at that given moment who are actually on each of the planets. So, you know, when you hover over a planet and it'll say like there's 100,000 Helldivers here or whatever, added them all up and said, oh, there's 750,000 concurrent players. But actually, there's been more concurrent players. So Johan, once again, is back. And this was a while ago, but Johan says this. Look, this is literally on the 24th of February, which is my birthday, by the way. Says, we expect the Helldivers 2 servers to hit the 800,000 concurrent user max capacity in 3 to 4 hours. There might be light queues to get in at peak. How crazy is this from a team of 100 devs or under 100 devs? Now, this is the thing, right? This was days ago now. Like, this may as well be years ago in terms of the internet. But you can already see and feel people are still engaged with Helldivers 2. I'm still engaged with this game. I'm still jumping in and playing this game every day because it's super fun. You know, and I'm doing a couple of missions. It's so much fun. And it's just chaotic. You know, things happen in this game which just don't happen in other games. It's so good. So I think this is going to carry on. Now, obviously, the onus is on the devs to keep updating the game and keep adding good quality content to the game. I think a lot of us are going to look towards these major orders. We're going to look towards the way the galactic war unfolds. We're going to look towards what Joel is going to do. And this is kind of where we are, I think. And it's going to be really cool to see how this develops. So what about armor penetration? Now, this is a stat which is super powerful in the game because anything with armor is very hard to kill. We've all seen the chargers from the Terminids. They seem to be unkillable at times. And they also just appear behind you. And you're like, what? How the hell is this, like, literally 100-ton monster got behind me without me hearing? But anyway, they charge at you, don't they? And the problem with them is they've got armor all over the front. Yeah, you can remove the armor if you're hitting them with stuff like the Recoilless Rifle or the Railgun. But anything else, you pretty much need to shoot them in the weak spot, which is right behind them. And even then, it's really hard to get to that weak spot. Now, I'm not asking for a nerf or anything like that, but what I'm trying to say here is armor penetration is a very powerful stat in the game. If you've got the ability to blast through armor, it makes killing stuff a lot easier. I like to use the Recoilless Rifle to take down the dropships from the automatons, because you hit the engine and the whole dropship just explodes. I mean, that is super powerful because it just falls on the enemies below and generally kills them all, which is mega powerful. But anyway, how does armor penetration work? Because it's quite confusing, because we don't really know. Anyway, Johan's back again and says, armor pen is a value between 0 and 10. If the armor pen is equal to the enemy's armor value, the damage is 50%. If the armor penetration beats the armor, you do 100% damage. If AP is less than the armor value, the bullet ricochets. Now, you've all seen this. You get the icon in the game when you're firing at something, shows you the shield and the deflection, right? But also, you can just straight up see bullets deflected. Now, this can be dangerous, especially if you're using like the auto cannon and you're just blasting it into like a Hulk into its face and the armor's just bouncing off it, or you're like blasting it into a charger or a bile titan or whatever. In fact, it's easy to hit a bile titan because you can hit it from underneath. But, you know, you're just firing away and your shells are just ricocheting. That is not clever. You're not doing any damage. So what we're looking for here is we need to have a weapon that has got the same AP value as the armor value, because then we're going to do 50% damage at the armor, so you can just shoot the target anywhere. But if you've got more armor penetration, then you do the full 100% damage. Now, it seems to be, you know, let's just throw some figures out here. So if you had a armor value of 5, but your armor penetration was 10, you'd do 100% damage. If your armor penetration value was 6 and their armor was 5, you're still above that, so you'd still do 100. It seems to be that's the case it works, or the way it works. Now, we don't actually know the values of the enemies in the game. I'm sure at some point this will get worked out, but, you know, this is why things like the railgun is being used all over the place, and people are going, oh, the railgun's meta. Yeah, the railgun, it's kind of I think the railgun's quite boring to use. It's a good weapon. I've used it myself quite a few times, but I prefer using stuff like the anti-material rifle. I've been really enjoying that. You guys have been seeing footage in the background of me playing with that. Even like the autocannon, I really like the autocannon, the recoilless rifle and whatnot. Even like just the machine guns and stuff are fun to use. But yeah, that's how AP works. It also goes on to say, I don't know what the light AP condition is. I think it might be if AP is 2 or less, but honestly, I don't know either. Now, I've just got to put this out there, because this is a banger of a tweet. So, this Unleashed account says, sorry, ex-bots, oh dear. But everyone knows the truth, Helldivers over Halo, which is an insane statement to make. I mean, Halo is a game with such a rich history. You can't just, like, that could not be eclipsed, even if the best game ever in the world ever made ever came out the day Helldivers 2 came out. That just would not. That's just outrageous. But look at this response. It's so good. Johan says, why compare? Just let gamers love and enjoy both, either or neither. We need more compassion and union in the world, and less rivalry. And I love that, because really, when you get down to it, that's what Helldivers 2 is about. You know, you're working together against some outrageous threat. And yeah, it's all about teamwork, because that makes the dream work. I can't believe we just said that in a video. So what about new players and helping new players and playing with new players? Now, I think the only toxic behavior I've seen is people leave groups, or in fact even kick people from groups when they're low level. So if you start doing difficult missions, so we're talking like difficulty 5 or 6 and above, you generally get higher level Helldivers, right? So you might get people who are like level 15 and above, let's say. Now, obviously, you can do these at any level, right? You know, I was doing these at like level 5 and whatever, you know. You can do it at any level, that's fine. But I've seen people get kicked out of groups because they are a level 6, a level 5, a level 7, and the rest of us standing there all level 20 plus, and then whoever is in charge of the group removes that person. It's like, well, that's not great. Now, is this happening a lot? I don't know. It's the only example of toxicity I've ever seen. I guess it's minor in a lot of ways, but it still is a little bit worrying. What I will say, though, is if you do want to go out and help lower ranked players, all you need to do is play the lower difficulties and you will get them. Like if you play like a difficulty 2 or 3, you'll get lower level players and you can go in there with all of your fancy equipment and you can give them stuff. You can almost like show them the ropes, and that's really cool. But again, Johan is back, and look at this tweet. He says, this, help new players, show them the ropes, fight together, don't be a fascist. And there's this meme and it says, who invited this level 3 Helldiver to our squad? Me just trying to do my best for democracy. Yes, and the little cat meme thing on the go. And then he replies to this and says, give the new player the shield backpack and the railgun, which of course is considered to be meta at the moment. It's boring. I mean, the shield backpack is boring as hell. Like, just use anything else. It's so boring. Get the jetpack. You know, it's amazing. You can do without it if you are a true Helldiver. And yeah, truer words have never been spoken. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the video. I've been Stylosa. If you enjoyed the content, then do like the video. It does help a lot, especially in the algorithm and all of that stuff. And yeah, I'll keep the content coming. And I hope you're enjoying the game, and I hope you're just enjoying everything that's going on in your life. I'll catch you on the next one.